No contact and the power of time. No contact is a humongous buzzword. You know, if you're going through a relationship, at the end of a relationship, you're going to be probably searching on YouTube, probably searching on Google, and you're going to come into contact with no contact. It is not a cure-all for your relationship. Do not think that that's what this is, okay? It is not that. It is a cure for you. If somebody's broken up with you, realistically, you might have been outputting something that isn't positive. If that person cheated on you, then you might have been putting out something negative to begin with, but that person is also a negative person. You need to get away from this. That is what no contact is about. It's about allowing time to heal your wounds and the wounds within your relationship. Patience is a virtue for a reason. Most people don't have it. It'll be extremely powerful. If somebody walks away from you, somebody breaks up with you, it will be powerful. It will be powerful. They're not going to expect it. They're just not going to. Even if you think that they will, again, you'll find a lot of videos that repeat what I say. I've experimented with this myself. You know, again, I'm not going to give you any advice that I have not tried myself. And it doesn't mean that every single person comes back. It does not mean that. But I can tell you what it does mean is that you will look back on that relationship with your head held high, and that person will respect you more. It will force everybody to respect you more. And if you're a guy, I'm telling you right now, women do not sleep with men they don't respect. So if you are begging and pleading and you're doing all of that stuff in the moment, you are only hurting your chances. You really are. You can beg, you can plead, you might win even a little bit, but that woman's respect for you is slowly diminishing. And the same thing for women. If you're begging and pleading to a man, you do not want people to think that they are higher value than you. You want them to think it's equal. Higher value people leave people. And I would actually argue on top of that, hurt people hurt people. So be aware of that as well. If somebody is breaking up with you, they might be in pain themselves. They might have problems that you're not aware of, right? How long have you known this person? How long have you dated them for? Do you know really everything that's wrong with them? Maybe they need the time to heal. Maybe they'll come back to you when they're feeling better. You need to allow people to leave in and out of your life. It is extremely important. And it's not just breakups. You can use this on a micro scale as well. If you're, for instance, if that person that you're dating, man or woman, is pulling away slightly, let them go. You will notice that they will come back and they will evaluate themselves before they evaluate you. Because if you're doing what you need to do, and especially focus always on building yourself, it is immensely important to relationships. What are you doing with your life? Are you feeling good inside? Are you living your purpose? Are you doing something you enjoy on a regular basis? Are you sitting around doing drugs, eating junk food, not living right? Are you watching Netflix all day, playing video games all day? And I love video games. I'm never going to put them down ever. But is that all you do? Are you outputting the right energy into your life? If you don't feel good by yourself, you are not going to attract the people that you want in your life. And you will only push away that person who left you to begin with. Because you must feel good inside. That's what time will allow you to do. It will truly allow time to heal your wounds and the other person's wounds. And I'm talking about emotional here, just like the physical wounds. You need to focus on that. And when you're in no contact, you must focus on yourself. And you'll see other videos, they'll say, do the work. What does that mean? And that's the one thing I think they don't always do a great job of defining. It means focus on yourself. It means if you don't exercise, you better start. If you can run, absolutely run. You will not find a better way to lose body fat. Don't listen to any of these videos. Running will do it for you. I exercise 7 days a week. I can tell you I never saw better results until I started running. Start running. Lift some weights if you can. Walk if you can't run. Start with that. Do yoga if you have back problems, leg problems. Yoga and stretching, activating the parts in your body. It's not just the mind, or it's not just the body, it's also the mind. You need to grasp hold of your brain. There is nothing sexier to a human than a person who has control of their own mind. For men and for women. If you're a beautiful woman and you're pushing people away, men are very visually stimulated. So you have to ask yourself, if I'm beautiful and I'm by myself all the time, why? How good do you really feel about yourself, about what you do every day? How do you wake up and feel every day? And again, it's a daily battle. That's why I work out so much, because it's a daily battle. I don't do it just for my body. I don't do it just to be vain. That's a huge perk, It's a huge perk. If you don't have a good haircut, if you're holding on to hair as a man and you're losing hair, get rid of it. Get comfortable, because now you're fighting something internally. You will realize, and again, it's easier for me to say because I know I have good hair, right? But I can promise you, as somebody who has a sister and somebody who's dated a lot of men, there's nothing women want to see less than a guy hanging on to something that shouldn't be there. Hanging on to past relationships, hanging on to your hair, hanging on to a job that you shouldn't be at anymore. You have to be fluid like water, and that requires always leveling up. That's why this channel is called Always Leveling Up. And you'll find they all say the same thing, men or women. Focus on yourself in no contact. That it literally will attract people. The no contact and the power of time, it will heal everything naturally. And the better product you become, the quicker that person will either come back into your life or the more somebody else better will. And that's what it's about. The no contact is about giving yourself time to heal. We walk around with so much internal damage, and I'm talking about emotional trauma. We all have it to some degree, rich or poor. And it's huge. It's huge. No contact will help you with this. It will help you heal inside, but you have to approach it with that way. That means just because you're in no contact doesn't mean you sit there and you wait for that person to come back and you count down the day. Actually, if you look at David Goggins, is one of my favorite thoughts about this. So David Goggins, if you're not aware of who he is, go look him up. But obviously, this guy is about physical fitness to the extreme, and you will find out. He's all about controlling the mind, building up his mental muscle. And one thing he did is, and he's not the only one to do this. There's a lot of people, not a lot, but there are a select few special individuals who can run these 100-mile races. And he did it on a broken foot, and I think he had 40 miles left of 100. And they asked him, how did you finish it? He goes, well, the difference between me and everybody else is that I don't count. He doesn't count 40, 39, 38. He goes, this is life now. I now run on a broken foot. And that's what allowed him to get there. So you need to think that if you're in no contact with somebody, you go, this is my life now. This person is now gone. And if they come back, that's where I can allow them in, right? And I always strive for forgiveness. Even if you don't want to date this person, mend the relationship as best as you can. No, fuck that person attitude. I don't agree with that stuff. Even if you broke up with them, mend it as much as you can. Leave it as positive as you can. Sincerely, I mean this. Because you don't know where your brain's going to be, and you don't know how things come to circle around over time. So you want to stay extremely positive with those in your life. So allow no contact to do its thing. Allow yourself to have the patience internally to heal. It will work, and then you will be proud of yourself for doing what you did. I know I've had to do it several times, and it betters me every single time. Discipline is where the reward is. And I like what Jocko Willink says, discipline equals freedom. And it's absolutely true. If you think about every single thing you do, your discipline will equal to more freedom, not less. So for instance, I take very good care of my diet. But I cheat every now and then. But I don't have any guilt about cheating because I do the work every day. So if I have one bad day, but if you allow yourself to constantly cheat on your diet, you're not going to feel very good about your diet. Think about that this way too, with no contact. Avoid this person for as long as you can. If you have some screw-ups, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. What kind of screw-up was it? Did you look at their story by accident, right? Did you reach out to them one night on a bad night? Okay, well, you can distance yourself again. These people, their opinion of you will change over time. And if you pull away as well, if you give them the breakup, give them the distance within whatever kind of relationship, they will recognize that over time. I would argue, I don't have children, but I argue even if with your children, if you're scared to let your children go for a little bit, even if you let your kid go to college and go away to school, and at first, you'll notice that distance, they'll pull away from you, they'll go nuts and all that. Watch what happens when you don't talk to your kids as much and they run into some problems. And again, it doesn't mean ignore your children. Never ignore your children. My parents were phenomenal, and it's a huge reason of where I am today. And those who don't have great parents, they will suffer always. So if you have children, remember that. Absolutely. 70% chance if you're a young man who grows up without a father, you're going to jail. So remember that stuff. Parenting is extremely important, but giving people the freedom will draw them back better than you realize. And if you can't allow them that freedom, you'll push them away even further. And that's the last thing you want. You want people to feel free. Love is based in freedom. It really is. It really is. Think about America. I mean, I'm an American. Think about it. This country loves the world. The people, I'd argue, we don't have to get into politics, but these people of America, we love the world. We're free. We can afford to give our love out. We're a charitable country. Our politics don't do that, but we're not our politicians, right? We're a people, right? And we have freedom here that a lot of places in the world do not have. Obviously, there's other free nations, but freedom allows you to love. So remember that. The power of time will allow freedom, healing. It'll allow these things to take place. And if that person doesn't come back, if it's your child, you go get them. Try a little bit, but never give up on your children. That's a whole different element. That's a biological element. But if it's not a biological thing, like your parent, let them go. Let them go if they don't want to come back. That's a decision that was made. Not everybody's meant to be in your life forever, unfortunately. And think about, sometimes it's a gift. What did you learn from it? What did you get from it? Can you use it as fuel? Always remember these things and always level up.